Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Aditya Gupta. In this video, I'll be talking about why notes are important as far as your preparation is concerned and why they will be the bedrock of you getting a good rank. Now, this is more valid as far as I believe it's more valid as far as post graduation or super specialty entrance is concerned, but nonetheless, undergraduate students do also benefit from having good notes. Now, what is the purpose of notes? People tend to forget what notes are, why notes are important. And sometimes just blatantly copy the entire textbook. No, that's the entire thing that you're doing wrong. The purpose of notes is that you can revise in a large amount of topic in a small time. So you're basically making, let's assume you have a review book, or let's assume you have your, for that matter, your physics or chemistry or your NCRT also for that matter. You're making notes which you think, you tend to forget a lot, so you need to read it again and again, and making them in your own handwriting so that you can revise it faster when the time comes. You have 90 subjects to prepare for a NEET PG, you need to revise them in 7 days. And you have 90 chapters to prepare for your NEET UG examination, which you need to revise in the last 15 to 30 days. So for this revision, which has to be done in the small space period of time, sometimes you cannot read the entire book. You have to have your own notes so that you know, okay, this is this thing that I tend to forget again and again. And now I need to focus just on these notes because baki mujhe yaad hai. The remaining I remember, but these are the things that I need to read. I'll say as far as biology is concerned, you should read your NCRT, and NCRTs are revisable even in the last 7 days. Having said that, for chemistry, especially for organic chemistry, you need to sometimes remember which formula needs to be applied and things like that. So those formulas are written down in one place at one point of time. You know, even in biology, if there are certain things which are written down in one place, aestivation or flowering plants, types of fruits and things like that, if you are revising them, although I'm pretty sure they should not be asked because they're not in NCRT, but if they're written down in one single page at one point of time, it will make it easier for you to revise. Now, this process of effective revision and this process of revising large amount of information in a small amount of time is made possible only with the help of notes. Second thing I want to emphasize on is that your own handwritten notes are important. Now, what happens is that the reason your own handwritten notes are important is because you only know what is your strong and your weak point, what you need to remember. If you buy someone else's note and if you think someone else's note are going to be important, then that is their understanding, right? They're not books which have been written for your understanding. They're notes which are meant to save your time. So you know, okay, in this particular chapter, I don't understand this thing. Or in this particular chapter, this is a thing that needs multiple revision because I'm not able to remember that. For this, that's why your own handwritten and your own understanding made notes are important. Having said that, the copying can be justified and copying is beneficial. How? Copying notes. I also myself bought notes for 2 or 3 sets of subjects as far as my post graduation entrance is concerned. But I made notes for my rest of the subjects. When is this copying justified? One is time crunch. Obviously, if you don't have time to make notes, it's obviously better you can read someone else's note. More valid for NEET PG, not for NEET UG. The second is sometimes we just don't know how to make notes. I mean, obviously, note making is a skill and it's learned over time. And it's okay if you feel like you don't know how to make notes. In such a scenario, you can borrow someone notes or buy someone notes to just see how they made notes and then from your own understanding make those notes. Like they say in Hindi, na nakal karne ke liye bhi akal chahiye. So you can copy from others, but make sure you use your own brain to make your own notes. Now, in this scenario, since I'm talking about note make, like I'll give you an example. Like this is how I used to as far as revise. This is my during my revision time. So for me, I used to divide it into 3 times. I have read it, fair enough. One, I made notes, tick two, and I've revised. If I've done these 3 things, I'm pretty sure that I'm decently confident in that particular topic. Since I'm on the topic of notes, I'll talk about one app. I've talked about this app before. A good student to student learning peer group application app called as Crayons. So this is the app that I wanted to talk about. Called Crayons is the largest social learning network. I mean, it's not like a social media app like Facebook or Instagram. In fact, it's a Facebook and Instagram of students where you can interact with multiple students and ask your doubts. So, and become famous for solving those doubts. At the same point of time, you can sell your own notes. If you're an MBBS student and you think you can sell your notes of your first or second prof, or if you're someone who's just cleared your NEET UG and want to sell your notes and you think your notes are good and can help the multiple students who are preparing for this exam, go ahead and you can share your notes and obviously get some small amount of income from those notes. At the same point of time, they have personalized feed and an opportunity board. So I'll say that instead of being on Facebook or Instagrams, be on Crayons because it's the place where you can ask it out, sell your notes, and at the same point of time, make your preparation just a slightly bit better. So this is what the app or the website interface looks like. So you have this dashboard where you can see questions, people who might have uploaded their notes at the same point of time. You can go to universities to check out specific universities if you want notes of those particular university, people who have uploaded notes from those universities, or you can ask questions from those particular users. There's the opportunity board, giving information related to information related to various exams and everything. At the same point of time, you can you can explore paid internships here, become a certified note creator or certified doubt solver, things like that. So in such a way, you can earn some pocket change or some major money as a part-time income. You can interact with your fellow colleagues to solve your doubts, sell your notes. So all in all, a really good website, a really good app in order to connect with your fellow peers, in order to connect with your fellow batchmates. So yeah. Now I'll come to the second part of making notes, and that is how to make good notes. What constitutes a good note? So you can make notes, but until they're actually helping you improve your rank, they're useless, right? So the good notes always includes previous year questions. So you have an idea what is important and what is not important. Second, they're easy to read. Obviously, if you have not made them if you can yourself cannot understand your own handwriting, then it's better you buy someone else's notes. Third and most important thing, which I think people don't understand, is use a lot of tables, use a lot of flowcharts, and use them in a way so that you're able to differentiate two things which are similar to one another. Because most of the times the questions are framed in such a way about things which are similar, but they want you to know the difference. For example, I'll take the example of NEET PG in this particular scenario. So they can ask you what is the difference between, in a form of an MCQ, what is the difference between an inflammatory and non-inflammatory arthritis. So these are the notes from my fiance's, Dr. Divya's rheumatology notes. So she has made a table and differentiating. In this way, you're remembering what is inflammatory and what is non-inflammatory arthritis. At the same point of time, since you're differentiating between those two in the form of table, it makes remembering easy. I'll give you an example as far as NEET UG also is concerned. For example, if I had to make notes of the formed elements in the blood or the WBC's part, I would have made this table. I would have made neutrophil, basophil, eosinophil, monophil here, percentage, and what's the function. So I'm able to differentiate what is the difference between neutrophil and basophil, and at the same point of time, I'm able to revise every function of every cell altogether, and put a small picture here if I can. Let's say I'm making notes on my iPad or something like that. So use flowcharts and diagrams along with tables which highlight the difference in a judicious manner. I believe this is one thing that people don't do. They just write on एक line लिख दी, neutrophils are important to fight infection, 60 to 75% होते हैं, something like that. नीचे basophils का लिख दिया, something like that. यार उससे you won't able to remember. But if you compare and contrast, humans function as far as contrasting is concerned. This is something you might have read in biology, or you will read in physiology, कि हम लोग ना कंट्रास्ट को समझने में बहुत अच्छे होते हैं ह्यूमंस. यूज दिस टू योर एडवांटेज. डिफरेंसेस को समझने की कोशिश करो. इनफैक्ट एग्जामिनर भी तुमसे वही पूछना चाहता है, एंड दिस विल हेल्प यू इन रिमेंबरिंग थिंग्स अ लॉट मोर. So this is my video as far as notes is concerned. Thank you and have a nice day.